Oh, shit, dude. That was starting to burn. Oh, wait. All right, can you hear me?
Oh God, yeah.
Let me see if I can hear you. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. It sounded muffled there for a bit. All right, we're good. Sloppy introduction. It's all right. This is Kitchen Talks episode 8. What's up, everybody? I'm Nathan.
And I'm P.
That was that was a bad introduction, but hey, yeah, we did it. It's episode 8. Yeah, man, 8 weeks now. Oh, what I was gonna say was sorry for the. We usually try to upload on like Thursdays, but me and Preston both are a bit busy this week, so we're doing it on a Friday. Probably upload it tomorrow on a Saturday. But we're staying consistent with it, one a week.
Yep, I can't believe it. 8 weeks. It just feels like we started this last week.
Yeah, so that's 2 months, huh? About.
Yeah,
Holy shit. Time flies.
yeah.
Um, yeah, let's see here. I'm checking our numbers.
I just do the same thing.
Yeah, I we have talks about numbers a lot, but we're trying not to focus too much on them. But we got 8 subs, 14 views on the last episode, 13 on the episode before that, 30 on the episode before that, 5 on the episode before that, 11, 13, 117. So I mean, we're doing pretty damn good. It's a slow but steady growth. 8 subs. So thank you to everyone who's subbed. But we'll probably talk a little bit about during this episode the numbers game and why that's tends to get in our heads.
Yeah, and yeah. Thank you guys, and making. We're definitely having a base that keeps coming
Yep,
and watching, so that's good.
that is definitely good. Well, I'm gonna do that at the end of the video. I was gonna like go on the Kitchen Talks Instagram. Oh yeah, follow on Instagram Kitchen Talks Podcast. I was gonna go on there and post a story video of me talking. Like we're recording. I swear, we're recording right now. I'll do it later. But yeah, man, episode 8. Let's get into it. That was a long intro. What's going on, man? What's going on in the news? We got to give the people a recap of what we know.
Yeah. So the last thing was that Mitch McConnell, political news. Mitch McConnell um, acknowledged Biden's win,
Yeah,
which
that's
was,
good.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty big. He should have done it November 7th, but that's, I guess, big now.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be.
yeah.
Um, but there are also, I watched a video, news report. There are still Republicans in the Senate that are um, spreading misinformation about the election, that it was rigged, and that there's voter fraud, and some of these Senate hearings, and that's getting heated too, which
Mm-hmm.
is just dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and William Barr got fired.
Oh, yep, William Barr got fired.
That's Giuliani has COVID.
Does he still have it?
Oh, I think he probably's over it now, but
Oh,
I
yep.
guess we probably talked about that last week. But yeah, um, Barr, Trump's tweet was it's pretty passive aggressive.
Yeah, it really was. You could
He-
tell he fired him, not. Oh yeah,
yeah, he's gonna spend the holidays with his family.
yeah,
That was just passive aggressive,
yeah.
but that's what he seems to do. And I saw, well, a lot of the federal executions also.
Yeah.
are being approved by Trump, which I mean, I don't know all the cases, so can't really say whether that's right or wrong, but I'm sure some of those people are not good people, but yeah. So it's just a shit show, but I'm excited for new administration.
Me too. Someone to finally take on COVID, which he did break out that vaccine, which is good within
Warp speed,
warp speed.
Operation Warp Speed. Had the military do it, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh
Crazy.
yeah, in other news, well, I guess pretty much everyone knows this by now, is that the vaccine's rolling out.
Yeah, vaccine. Yep. Vaccines rolling out. We'll see what if it looks to be safe and um no major side effects, I'll definitely be getting it.
Me too.
Mm, I've heard Biden wants to get it like live.
Oh, he wants to get a shot of him getting it live.
Yeah, just show, like it's safe type thing.
Yeah, that
People
that
will still find a way to make it to not believe it though.
yeah. There are people thinking. Someone shared a video on Facebook today of a nurse getting the vaccine,
Mhm.
and then it transitions to a clip, I think, from The Walking Dead.
Oh god.
Yeah, and it's it's a joke, but behind that joke is a serious fear of the
Oh god.
vaccine.
Yeah. It's and how would the government or whatever people think the enemy is, government, how would they benefit from turning us into zombies?
Yeah, and like you said
So
last
stupid.
night, they're not going to do it through a vaccine.
No. Yeah, I'd said that last night. Yeah, that if they wanted to really hurt us, the vaccine would be the last place they'd look.
Hmm.
They could just emit tremendous levels of radiation through. Well, fuck, I don't know. I sound like a conspiracy theorist now, but they would go through different means. Shit, I'd believe chemtrails, like that planes are dropping um harmful chemicals into the air. More, I'd believe that faster than I would believe anything about vaccines.
Yeah, vaccines are, yeah, they're not going to do that.
No, it makes no sense. They just say we can't find the cure for COVID. Sorry guys, if they really didn't care and just let us die with it. If they really wanted to hurt us, they just let the virus go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll be getting it more than likely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
Mm. And it's 2 rounds, huh?
y- yeah, I think
Like
so.
a 3 week thing or something like that.
Yeah, you get one, and then 24 days after, or something like that, you get the
Okay,
second round.
24 days.
It's too risky not to get it for me. I,
Yeah, I'd agree. Um, yeah, well, those conspiracies. I think with the internet, we've seen a lot more traction with conspiracy culture.
oh God, yeah, it conspiracy theories gain so much traction online.
You got guys like Alex Jones, who's well, people are calling for his arrest after threatening Biden. He's been leading marches and shit and speaking on a megaphone to the MAGA marchers and saying how we got to rebel and we're not Biden won't be president type thing. We'll intervene. It's like, dude, holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, and there's the other big news too, is it is now for the most part official. The Electoral
Oh,
College
yeah, yeah.
confirmed that.
Yeah. So that's yeah, Alex Jones needs to be careful there. I mean, that he's just walking on thin ice doing that, especially with the nutcases that follow him. Holy shit, they might actually go try to hurt Biden. You never know.
Yeah, and that video you were watching the other day, where he
Oh
was giving that speech, and the cheers that he fucking got
yeah. Mm-hmm.
after it were scary. It was almost, I bet you half of those people didn't even know who he was, but just because he was up there saying that Biden didn't win that thing, the
Cheers.
election.
Yeah. God. Yeah, there was quite a bit of people there at that march. Hmm.
There wasn't this many marches when Hillary lost. We had protests uh, the night of when Trump won, but they didn't last. I mean, everyone just kind of went, "Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, okay, he won."
But they didn't do this.
No, it's so
That's
strange.
that's the hypocrisy of it. Um, yeah, that's the hypocrisy of it. They Republicans told Dems to, or well, Trump supporters told liberals to suck it up and
Mm-hmm.
fuck your feelings. But now that they lost, they need to do the same.
Yeah, it's been a
I should.
month and a half now.
We should make Biden flags that say "fuck your feelings." Fuck your feelings with capital for your.
Mm-hmm. Have his face with his classic sunglasses on.
Yeah, fuck your feelings. Yeah, fuck. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot last week I had mentioned my nipple. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna die. Well, now it. I just got the. That's crazy. That was a week ago, but I got the blood test results back and everything's good. So, um, now I go back to the doctor in like February, sometime in February, and see how we can get rid of it. But it's actually going away now a little bit. It's shrinking and doesn't hurt as bad. So that's good. I'm gonna be, I'm still gonna be around.
Heck yeah.
Not that I wouldn't, even if it was something bad, but yeah, I'm good. So I won't get into too much detail, but there's that update there. I said I would bring. Nathan's all right.
Nathan got his results back and he's good.
Yeah, I'm good. I am good. Um, man, what else has been going on? Oh, well, just the Jill Biden. Are people upset that she's being referred to as doctor?
Oh,
Or
yeah. I've
yeah,
seen some stuff on that. So, um, I saw a tweet from Ben Shapiro saying something about um it's here, let me pull it up real quick.
yeah. It, do people not like that she's not traditional or what?
Yeah, it's let me see what
She's not Melania.
let me see where I'll find that pretty quick. Let's see.
Shapiro's interesting fella.
Yeah. y-
Well, you saw the video of him reading the Cardi B lyrics, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's definitely traditional, isn't he? He
Oh god, he was reading the lyrics and we got to find a way someday I want to be able to pull up clips, you know. Oh god, I can't wait for that day where we have like to where you can pull up clips and stuff that the viewers can watch with you. Damn, that would be so sick.
Yeah, that'd be so helpful.
We will do that because I don't want to try to play it through the mic or anything, but yeah, we will do that eventually. But basically, it was just reading. Just look up Ben Shapiro. Not you, Preston, but the listeners. Just look up. I'm pretty sure most people have seen it if you're on the internet. But yeah, Ben Shapiro reading Cardi B and Megan the Stallion's WAP lyrics. He fucking gets so irritated. He's so upset by it, man. He's like, this is just gross.
Which is weird because there's
There's so many
oh,
dirty songs throughout history. This is nothing.
yeah.
Like, come on, man. It's not gonna ruin. Whatever. Yeah, Ben Shapiro. He's a traditionalist, definitely.
Oh, I found the tweet.
You did.
It says, I just love that in a time when medical doctors should be revered as never before, we're in the midst of a global pandemic. We're now standing strong for the proposition that people who get doctorates in education should also be called doctor. That's how, if
Dude,
you receive,
what?
it, if,
What an idiot.
yeah, if you get a doctorate degree,
You're supposed. That's what you're supposed to be labeled as.
yeah, that's what you end up being labeled
Yeah.
as. You don't have to be in the medical field to be labeled as a doctor.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you were talking
Yeah.
about?
That's exactly what I was talking about. People are outraged over it because she's a teacher, but is labeled doctor. And my principal in elementary school was named Doctor.
Yeah.
She went by Doctor because she got a doctorate.
Well, and just I mean, every college professor that you have goes by doctor.
Yeah, Doctor. Whatever. Yeah,
And it's because they received a doctorate in their education. It doesn't just apply to medical professionals.
yeah. Shapiro is supposed to be a smart guy. That was stupid to say.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
There's really outrage about that. Did she do anything in particular that?
I I don't think so. Like I think. Oh man, I don't know. I'm looking right now.
Yeah, because I haven't. They they just look for red herrings like that all the time. It,
Yeah, I don't know why, man. I can't find anything. Why is outrage? Yeah, I don't want to hold it up too much time, but yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me either. Why there's her being referred to as Doctor Biden? Huh. Anyway, yeah, that's
hmm.
interesting. That about covers the interesting news. Wow, saw somewhere that in Africa, it's like 100 students were abducted
Oh,
out of a
really?
classroom. Yeah, something like that.
Terrorist group?
Yeah, it's like I think the terrorist groups take the kids and turn them into soldiers. I'm sure.
Yeah.
God, man, that's talk about. We deal with school shootings in the U.S., but talk about another whole level of fear.
Yeah.
Go to school, and you're worried about getting taken away from everything you know forever. God. Oh, there's school shootings in Africa too. where people will just start, yeah, where terrorist groups will start shooting. So it's nothing just unique to the US, but the reason the US school shootings are more for different reasons. It's just pissed off teenagers. But yeah, that I did see that. That's can't imagine that.
And this is new.
I believe so. I saw it on. That's the thing though. It's one of those Snapchat things,
Oh yeah, it's probably new then.
which it was a one of the news things, but Snapchat, man, they get you with those stories like the news story, like the Discover shit.
Yeah, those those apps really know how to grab your attention.
Oh God, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Um. I wonder what. Well, maybe. Maybe the. I was just going back to the Jill Biden thing. Maybe it'll. Well, they're gonna have to deal with it. The people who are opposing that, but maybe it'll be something. Well, I did. That's a. I'm still stuck on that because I was gonna say maybe it'll become more accepted since the first lady, but it's not a problem. It's never been a problem for
Did,
somebody to be labeled doctor.
yeah,
I don't understand the problem. I don't know why I went back to that. I was trying to. I'm still sorting through that in my mind. That's just weird. But anyway, what the hell?
well, yeah, like it just doesn't make any sense why they're freaking out over that.
Yeah, we were speaking of education. I guess. Well, we were talking last night about. Well, again, finding we were talking about the passion thing again, um, but in particular, well, today too, talking about like that pit in your stomach and the what's next feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's next? It's probably going to be in the title of this podcast.
Yeah, we've been talking about that mainly today. I mean, it's been a cloudy and cold day, which is the perfect temperature for getting those feelings.
Yeah, the weather must actually have a scientific impact on us somehow, on our moods.
I think it does. I mean, I remember whenever, and that probably goes back to childhood because
Hmm.
whenever I was a kid, if it was raining, you couldn't do anything, couldn't go over to a friend's, you couldn't do anything outside. It
Just
brought
locked
about,
in the house.
yeah, it brought about this kind of depressed mood.
That's interesting. Yeah, and it doesn't help with COVID, and we're in the house already anyway. But the basically what we were saying was,
Excuse me.
um, once you reach what me and Preston have noticed, once you reach a goal or something that the old you would have thought was like peak, like, oh my God, I reached the goal finally. Once you reach that goal, it's like your brain automatically jumps to what's the next. You don't even really enjoy it. You kind of go, what's next to chase?
Yep.
That's basically what you're saying by what's next. Like the brain's always, I think that never goes away. It's like it's how we're programmed. But so that's why it's probably more important than ever to figure out how to just live in the present
Yeah.
and still enjoy things, but just don't bank on an external thing to make your life all of a sudden great.
Yeah. Focusing on external things from what I've found, and probably you too, is it doesn't work. It leaves you craving more things that you think are going to make you happy,
Yep, it's just more and more and more.
and none
I
of those
felt
things
that.
ever make you happy.
Yeah, I felt that lately. It's because I've reached some or been doing some things, reaching some goals that oh, that's a loud car. That
Yeah.
in when I was like in high school, I would have thought would, without getting too specific, but would have been like, oh my god, that you know,
Yep.
okay, that's awesome. But when I did it, it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
bad feeling because then you feel like, wow, so anytime I do this with anything, it's gonna be like this now. And you kind of feel empty, like, oh, I don't even want to try anymore for anything because if it's gonna be this underwhelming is the word.
Isn't it just ironic though?
It really is. It really is because that means you have the keys to just Jesus Christ.
That
The
guy's hauling.
yeah, jeez. Um, that means you have the keys to dude, he's racing past my window. Uh, that means you have the keys to peace and just kind of feeling all right where you are. That means you have the keys to that right now,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good thing. That means you don't have to have anything outside to get that, no matter your situation. You could even, no matter what cards you've been dealt or how shitty, that's a good thing to know.
Is that the keys are right there in your hand?
Yeah, like that's what I'm starting to see is seeming like life is at least as a human is like enjoying things, doing things that you like, spending time with people you like, but not expecting I think yeah, not expecting anything
Yeah.
is and just when something you like or wanted does happen, then enjoying it, but not giving it too much power. Like it's gonna solve all your problems when you get it. I've made that mistake.
Expectations. That we ought to just start calling them illusions
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it creates an illusion in our heads, and when we finally get it, reality shatters that illusion immediately, and it leaves us feeling
That pit.
that, yeah, that pit.
You yeah. It's like ah man, I when I'm thinking about purpose and all that, it's like you can almost put your finger on it, but you can't. It's like so weird, man. It's like right there in front of you, it feels in front of me, it feels like just dangling. Like the reason is some I feel like there is no real purpose. It's just you're just do it, just live life. But it's like the concept is like dangling always in front of me, like it's so simple. But yet I still my mind still ventures to what can I do externally to feel good? But that never works.
Yeah.
That's
uh,
probably why people turn to drugs. I hate to say it, but
well, yeah, celebrities.
that's exactly what celebrities do. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
They hit that peak of fame and money, and
The top, so to say.
mm-hmm.
The top isn't actually the top. It's your brain. I think NF. I showed you the rapper NF, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his one of his songs was about, one of his lines was about how it was like him talking to I probably showed you that song, him talking to himself as, like, him talking to his child self, but it was,
Yeah, you
yeah,
did show me that one.
he said something along the lines of, "You're gonna it sucks, but you're gonna make a bunch of high expectations and goals, meet them, and then, not be satisfied and make even newer ones." It's basically along the lines of what he said. I was like, "Man, I relate to that shit." He's telling everyone too, "Yeah, look, I supposedly made it, and it's not satisfying at all," is basically what he was saying. You're still stuck with with yourself and all your past feelings and your mind, so none of that changes.
Yeah.
But I related to that, like, just goal driven, which is good, and self improvement driven, which is good. But at some point, you got to be like, okay, when does the line stop of improving? I guess you can always improve, but it seems like it gets exhausting. I
Yeah,
don't know, man. Maybe
it
I'm looking at it wrong.
well, it's probably that those improvements become smaller over time instead of these big leaps. Have you been noticing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that
Smaller
feeling of
improvements.
yeah, that feeling of making that huge leap that is now gone. You're still making
It feels
improvement.
great when you first get it and realize what you've done. But then it kind of slowly drizzles down.
So then you got to find creative ways to make it more interesting and new goals that are as big as before, but it's going to be with something different because you'll never be able to recreate that feeling you got with the current goal that you've been working on. It would have to be a different one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And man, these are the God. No wonder Alan Watts drank himself to death. This shit is like that's what I've been thinking too lately is just how these philosophers like Stoicism. I got back into that book again, and those guys are just. I don't care how peaceful they said they were. They're pretty troubled in the mind because no one has the exact answers. So it's troubling when you're trying to find the answers. Like I feel like Alan Watts and guys like that, they want to figure out the answers, and they keep thinking and thinking and thinking until they just can't think anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like when he probably dedicated his whole existence to finding answers about life. Started drinking to kind of relieve some of that pressure. I bet you Alan Watts had some OCD, man. I can relate to that part of obsessing over an idea until you find the end. Like you can't get rid of it until you find the just won't leave your mind. It's like plays in a loop.
Oh, I bet you're right. I mean,
He probably couldn't sleep.
yeah, like based on what I've listened to of his stuff, he was obsessed with um, life in general and figuring out the answers, and he'd also he'd come to the conclusion that this is it, but then like take a deep dive into an analysis of this is it.
Yeah, it's like that guy thought and thought, man. But that's what we're. I can see how this can drive a person crazy though, because even if you think you found the way, you still know you don't know.
Hmm.
That's crazy to me, man. What's next?
Yeah. Well, in the
What's
way
next?
is that something you've been thinking about lately too?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Been thinking about pessimists and optimists lately too, and realists. Like, I think because I can be a little bit of a pessimist, I can also be an optimist though. So I'm like a mixture, but I'm definitely not a realist because I definitely dream and think outside the box a lot and don't think about limitations. But um, I think pessimism is a speaking from experience because I've been a pessimist in points in my life really bad, but um, it's a negative thought pattern, and I think it comes from fear of getting let down. So you automatically want to just spew a negative outlook so you can't get let down. I think
Yeah.
that's what that is. Speaking from experience is why I was a pessimist because it's like it was easier to just be negative and just be like, ah, fuck this and fuck everything type mentality. It's easier to do that than to be positive because you can't get hurt that way. But when you're positive, you get let down more times than not, and to still stay positive. Like I have respect for people that are able to do that. Like to still keep a good mindset even after being let down, like majorly multiple times. It's crazy.
Man, you hit it on the nail with pessimism. That
I think that yeah, it's probably already been said before, but yeah, fear of being let down. I think it's what, and then optimism. I think is the totally fearless approach because you're vulnerable being positive and optimistic, very vulnerable because you're accepting that you don't know and that you don't that things change. That's that attitude I think, and realism is just an excuse, in my opinion. Saying you're a realist is just an excuse for, well, this is the way it is. It's almost worse than being a pessimist, in my opinion.
yeah, real there's the huge problem with realism too is that it assumes that um
Everyone's reality is different.
yeah, and it doesn't acknowledge that there are potential possibilities that are outside of what you think is real.
Yeah.
It yeah, it's a very limited mindset,
Yeah,
narrow
and
view.
well, rationalism and um well, like Plato's allegory.
Yeah.
I I learned about that in psychology class, but I kind of forgot it. But um basically about perception.
Mm.
Hello?
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, you cut out for a second. Yeah, you're back. But yeah, it's basically perception, and I've noticed that lately too. I've been thinking a lot about the past and how like I've done things like I was saying, reach goals, but then I had a different perception then when I was experienced or I'll think back and be like, damn, I those were the golden days. But I had a different perception then than I do now. Like my perception now is thinking about that reality in the past. So of course it's gonna feel different. When I was actually experiencing it presently, my um perception was different, so it wasn't the same. I've been thinking about that a lot lately too, because it's like your mind tricks you. 'Cause it's like nothing's ever just right, it seems.
Yeah, and that's one of my instructors. I forgot their name. uh, said, um, "You got to remember is that you were a completely different person in that time
Yeah,
period."
completely different.
Uh, and like we were talking about before, is there were definitely fears we had about the world that and mindsets at the time that limited us.
Exactly. And that's when I like in high school I skipped out on a lot of, and I'm not afraid to say it, a lot of activities because I was nervous, anxious.
Me too.
Yeah, and I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, I hopefully I can help people someday say like, yeah, I went through that shit too, because you did.
Oh yeah.
Also, like I skipped all school dances, all, and I didn't want to admit that it was because I had social anxiety. I chopped it up to just like, oh, I just don't want to go. But no, it was social anxiety and fear of judgment, just came from low confidence. And but so now that I have built up some confidence in myself, at least more than I had, and improved a lot, I think back on those days, I'm like, God, if I could go back, I would do a lot more. But I'm thinking in this new mindset that I have now. So it's like, of course I would do it now if I was in this mindset. But back then I had totally different intense fears that I just forget about, you know? You just like it's like all blurry. You don't they're not as intense. God, it's just so weird to me. It's like, ah,
Yeah,
troubles me, man. Cause it's like those fears were so intense, and now I'm looking back, I'm like, "Damn, take me back in time, and I would do all that stuff just to get out of my like, I would do it with the mindset I have now." I'm sure you probably would too.
hmm
See, God, that's just but you can't look back like that.
yeah, because then that
Does no
comes with
use.
regret.
Yeah, does no use, you can't and maybe if you maybe those experiences are what turned you into who you are today, and you'll keep building. Maybe if you were right off the bat completely just living it up, you wouldn't have any room to grow.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's double-edged sword, I guess.
it's the way, man.
Yeah, it's the way. It's just going with it.
That's the other thing I forgot to bring up today was that pit that we
Oh
get.
yeah,
It's just part of the wave that
the
we just,
pit.
yeah,
The
that we got it.
pits. The pits. I wonder what that really is, though. Something wanting more.
Yeah, sign for wanting change, probably. And it may just be change for the smallest things too, like boredom or
Yeah,
fear
doesn't have to
over,
be drastic.
yeah, it's just a change in what we're feeling now.
No, that's a good point. It's interesting, man. It's crazy. I also been thinking in the future how I don't know where I'll be in like 6 months even.
Hmm.
It's just insane. The next day, like tomorrow, could be the day that changes the course of your life. You just never know. That's why for people that are considering suicide, you you don't know what something could completely shift your world in a matter of minutes. Like you just never know. So what I'm doing here is discouraging suicide first of all by saying that because like things change so quick. Like you could be something great could happen to you that completely shifts your world.
Yeah, it could be just a simple idea too.
Yeah, simple like some of the most greatest minds were depressed at one point, and that's how they found their themselves. So like, but if you kill yourself, you'll never know how close you might have been to that gold in terms of you're finding your way, doing what you want to do.
Trading a temporary problem for a permanent solution.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably pretty dark topic, but I'm sure a lot of people that if they could go, people have killed themselves if they knew or like metaphorically speaking could go back, then I'm sure they would. 'Cause that's a
Mhm.
permanent thing, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, no second chances on that one. God, that's. And I'm sure quarantine has caused a lot of people to spiral into depressions.
Yeah. Because
It's a
people,
serious issue.
it is, and hopefully, hopefully that brings it to the forefront of and helps us better understand how we can solve depression and make it easier for other people to get out of it.
Hmm. Depression, anxiety. Another thing that the brain does so well is try to make correlations or
Hmm.
connections like to shit that didn't even exist. Like making correlations to things like even the type of food you ate in the past, how you felt then, like correlations.
Hmm.
This happened when I was talking to this person, so that must be correlated. Like our brains try to make like sense, like this happened because I did this, even though sometimes there's no correlation.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of correlating lately, and it's driving me mad. Like thinking about my past and saying, back then, if I want to get back to how I felt at that point, I need to do this because I was doing it back then," type shit. Not that I want to go back in the past, but see, I'm just thinking of the good memories in the past. That's all.
Yeah, that is a um I do that too.
Yeah,
Where you remember a certain feeling from the past and you go back to that instance and do a certain activity just to make get that same feeling, but it never.
never works. It still leaves you feeling empty.
Hmm.
At least for me, doesn't fully work. Correlations, man. Hmm. It's a matter of anytime. What I'm noticing also is anytime I've gotten what I wanted or things have went smoothly and have turned out good is when I wasn't thinking about it and just letting it go.
Yeah,
Or yeah, I don't know if that's the same for you.
it is.
Like when you weren't thinking about something, then it happened completely unexpectedly, or something that like it's just crazy how that works too. It's because you don't care, and I think that's when things flow when you're just going with it.
And not expecting anything.
Yeah, I think when you finally reach that point, you'll experience anything you want because it'll just flow.
Yeah, that's. I'm wondering about that too. I wonder why that is.
Might be have to do with the law of attraction, and not the law of attraction in the magical sense that some people talk about it as, but just the what dominates your head you'll bring into your experience. So, and but if you want something, you gotta if you're constantly thinking about it and how you don't have it, I'm sure you're a roadblock to yourself.
Yeah.
But once you finally say I don't give a fuck, then it does come into your life sometimes. It's crazy. Well, it's not crazy. It makes sense actually. We're all just going with the flow or in the flow. Yeah. Don't disrupt the flow. Whew. Deep shit, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting though? We almost need to disrupt the flow at some points to make us aware of where we're at.
That's true. Or else it'll just be like on surfing a wave.
Hmm. Yeah, like
You'll wake up one day and you'll be 80. Like,
yeah,
whoa, what the hell? I didn't stop and look around
yeah. Stopping is important. I think.
and seen what you've done.
Hmm. Where you're at, what you're doing. The hard part is just to be really present with it, because your mind will want to get away from it.
From the present,
Yeah, but you just got to note that, because
the
that'll tell you
past and
something.
future. I think we're the only species that thinks in the past and future.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we are. I think,
God, it's a curse. Well, it's also a blessing. So you can learn from mistakes.
but it's when we get really stuck in the past and future, that's when it gets dangerous,
Yeah.
problematic.
Well, it can be dangerous
Hmm.
for your mental health.
And it gets harder to get out of that rut.
Tom Cruise wasn't in the flow, dude.
No.
That just popped in my head. Tom Cruise screaming at his crew.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't in the flow there. He was
That's what we were watching the other night was news bloopers or people flipping out on TV.
Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah. Fuck it.
What's wrong with him? Fuck it.
Yeah, Bill O'Reilly and Tom Cruise, that was recent. Him going off on his set for Mission Impossible because of COVID, them breaking some kind of COVID guidelines.
Yeah, two guys got together near a computer screen.
That's
Whatever.
excessive.
Yeah,
Cruz was just letting off some steam, I
he must have been, man.
think, because no one gets that upset over that. I mean, sure they shouldn't have done that, but God,
I wonder if he was more concerned about his movie in particular being stopped than the entire industry shutting down.
I think he was. I don't think he gave two shits about the industry. I think we just wants to get this Mission Impossible movie going.
I didn't. They're allowed to. I didn't even know they were allowed to film right now. I didn't. Not allowed, but I didn't know. That's a very risky movie to be filming during COVID.
Fuck yeah,
Mission Impossible.
absolutely. Seems stupid.
If he's getting mad at them, he should be mad at himself for filming it.
For even filming it, yeah,
Yeah.
during a fucking pandemic. Seems ridiculous to me too.
Uh,
Yeah, man. I will always remember this time
yeah.
as the pandemic, living through a pandemic. We'll always remember.
Out of all things.
Crazy, man. And there will be more viruses like this. Just a fact.
There's a new version of coronavirus.
Um. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I mentioned that to
You
you.
did in the last video, or was that?
Oh, just the other day. I think I said something.
Oh yeah,
How it was a different strand or something.
yeah.
Fuck, man.
They better keep that.
Keep that shit over there.
Yeah, they got to contain that.
Have you seen um a lot of an uptick in racial slurs towards Chinese people?
Yeah,
Me
with
too.
the
Or like
China
some
part.
hatred. Yeah.
Yeah,
Trump did that with that reporter. She was Chinese and she asked him a question about it and he's like, "Why don't you ask China?" And
yeah.
that was pretty racist. Well, I don't know about racist, but it was pretty discriminatory. Just because she's China or looks Asian, he's assuming she's from China. He has no social empathy or like understanding of, yeah, dude, don't say that to someone. That's not nice to say.
No, none whatsoever. And he was probably doing it to rile people up against
Oh,
Asian,
yeah,
well, in China in particular, because he hates China.
the Chinese flu, China flu, China virus, China, China.
Yeah, and he's still placing blame on China, isn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah. He's still placing blame on China. Um, what was I? I was thinking of. Oh, Edward Snowden. Was Trump gonna pardon him?
No. Well, Lindsey Graham posted something that was totally against pardoning Snowden,
Okay.
but I don't know about Trump. Let me look that up. I didn't even see.
Where is Snowden at right now? Hiding?
Hiding in Russia.
Russia. He's
Hmm.
safe there.
Yeah, which is worrisome because they're not letting him stay there for convenience.
Yeah.
But Ed,
He's probably giving him something in return.
yeah,
He has to be. You wonder. There's been some hacks recently.
yeah, at the well, pretty much all the justice agencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like apparently Trump's weighing pardons, and
Yeah.
yeah, he's wondering whether to pardon Snowden or not.
Yeah. Don't.
Mm,
Well, I don't know. A lot of people think Snowden's awesome.
it,
He did make it known that the NSA is spying on us,
mm-hmm.
which is good to know. He was on Rogan.
Yeah, he's been on several shows, Rogan, and he was on Trevor Noah.
Yeah. So people like him. Seems like a decent guy, but um fortunately he broke a major, I mean, fuck, espionage.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll get pardoned. Even if he gets pardoned, he'll face a shit ton of legal changes when he gets back.
Espionage. Well, that about wraps this episode up. An hour.
That was a solid hour. Uh,
Yeah, that definitely was. Got some good talking. Yeah, keep it going. Be
uh,
doing another one next week for sure. We'll just keep it rolling. Hit him with a quote. What
oh,
were you gonna say though?
Oh, just eighth episode.
The
Just
8th
another one
episode.
down.
Thank you guys for watching.
And here's the
The quote.
the
End it
quote:
with the quote.
change. Nothing inherently bad in the process, nothing inherently good in the result.
Have you been flipping to those? That's the first thing you saw?
Yeah.
God, that's crazy.
hmm
Every time you flip, like, do the quotes, it's always, like, you obviously pick them ahead of time, but, like, you flip to it once and it seems to be the topic we end up discussing about. That's crazy.
They must have been thinking about the same things we're thinking about.
Yeah. Nothing inherently good.
Nothing inherently bad in the process, and nothing inherently good in the result.
Oh, man. In other words, it's just nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a you think the process is bad right now,
Yeah.
but you have the expectation that something's going to be good in the end. It's basically talking about expectations and ignoring the
Mhm.
process.
On that note, stick with us through this process
Mm-hmm.
of kitchen talks, growing the fan base.
And talking about ideas that we all care about and think about.
On that note, we'll leave you guys to your own devices. I'm Nathan.
And this is P.
This was episode 8 of Kitchen Talks. We will see you guys next week.
See you next week, guys.